Woman gets fluffy white puppy, but it doesn't bark. A year later she finally learns why. Getting a puppy is exciting and caring for one is equally challenging and rewarding. They're so adorable when they are small and clueless about what they should do or not, and we can't be mad at them when they get into trouble. We all know they require a lot of care and love. A responsible owner should house train them and teach them to be good doggies. That was all Ms. Wang was planning to do when she got her first Japanese Spitz puppy. She was ready to go through all those experiences, but little did she know that her puppy would be very special. A young woman from China by the name of Ms. Wang entered a pet shop and chose to buy her first puppy. The Japanese Spitz is quite popular in Asia, and Ms. Wang fell in love with the first fluffy Spitz she saw. She had no idea that her puppy would be so picky and difficult to handle. And she certainly didn't expect to find out that this pup was very special. There are very important things new pet owners should know before buying a puppy. You must be very patient for the first few months and look for more details on what breed you're getting. If you adopt a dog and don't know the breed, it's not a big deal. Getting the pup trained with the help of a professional will surely make your life easier, and it will strengthen the bond between you and your pet. But for Ms. Wang, training was a lot tougher than she thought. Ms. Wang wanted a purebred Japanese Spitz, since this pup doesn't grow bigger than a foot tall and they're known for having a playful personality. With their white fluffy coat and small pointed ears, this breed is adorable and pretty expensive. Plus, maintaining that white fur takes a lot of time. Nevertheless, the woman made up her mind and she took the pup home. She took her new pup home from the animal shop. At first, he was scared, but Ms. Wang gave him some treats and tried her best to make him feel comfortable. He learned where his bed was and soon grew accustomed to his new house and his human. The little ball of fur was a great companion, but there was one problem. The dog's fur was so beautiful, but when the puppy started growing, some of its features didn't look like those of a Japanese Spitz. Thinking it was a mixed breed and the animal shop fooled her, the owner ended up keeping him because it wasn't her pup's fault that he wasn't a pure breed. But she had no idea that things were more complicated than that. For only $190, Ms. Wang got herself a bargain when she bought her precious puppy. If you're checking the price for a purebred Japanese Spitz, you'll see it's over $1,000, and it can reach up to $2,500. The small price should have been suspicious, but Ms. Wang didn't give it a second thought. She completely fell for this ball of fur. However, as weeks passed, she began having some doubts about her choice. Ms. Wang realized that her pup wasn't a purebred Spitz, but she couldn't go back to the store and tell them to refund her the $190 and give them back her pup. She had bonded with him, and whether he was a mixed breed or not, he was her furry friend. After all, he did resemble a Spitz. Or so she thought. The puppy was stubborn and very adorable, thought Ms. Wang. This was her first pup, and she had little experience with dogs, so she thought maybe she had spoiled him. However, it was difficult not to spoil this cute ball of fur. She couldn't leave him alone in the house for more than a couple of hours, but she thought this would soon pass. Months passed, and she realized something was wrong with her dog. As months passed, her pup slowly grew, and these were the obvious signs her pup wasn't a pure breed. Her pup looked like a Spitz, he was white, he had the same height, but his snout was longer and his tail was a lot fluffier than it was supposed to be. Then, something else was odd, he didn't bark at all. Prepare to see the puppy all grown up and you'll soon understand the owner's shock. All puppies look fat and fluffy when they're only a couple of months old. Then, they grow and many don't even keep their features as they become adults. But Ms. Wang's pup transformed. Here's what she said about her dog in an interview. Believe it or not, but Ms. Wang's story became viral. In an interview with the media, she said that she saw her puppy's fur got thicker when it reached 3 months old. Then, its face became pointy and its tail grew longer than that of a normal dog. But that wasn't the only strange thing about it, other dogs were wary of her pup. Her little dog wanted to play with others when she took her outside, but she saw that other pet dogs seemed to be scared by my pet, so I walked it on a leash. Wang again thought her dog was weird, so she finally went to an expert when her puppy started to eat less. What was wrong with him? When people look to buy a certain breed, they're interested into the traits of that breed. The Japanese Spitz is cute, loyal, loving and intelligent. Juan's pet was exactly like that but lacked some physical traits. Now that he didn't want to eat, she had to take it to the vet. What Ms. Wang didn't know was that her puppy was not a purebred, but an extremely special pup. After seeing the vet, she couldn't believe her little pet was not actually a dog. Yes, you read that right. Here's how she found out. Ms. Wang took her dog to the vet and the man was speechless. He looked at her, then at the dog and wondered whether she indeed took care of this dog for a whole year. The vet told her that she was holding a wild animal and gave her more information, then guiding her to the local zoo. What was she holding in her arms? Going to the zoo, a staffer looked at Ms. Wang and his jaw dropped. She was holding a gorgeous white fox. He stopped her and asked her the story and wondered how she ended up with a fox as a pet and what was she doing there. Here's where things get interesting. Unfortunately for future dog owners that don't know to tell breeds apart, some pet shops sell white fox cubs as Spitz puppy because the kits look identical to the puppies. And as you can see at Ms. Wang's dog, he grew a long fluffy tail and a pointy face. What did Ms. Wang do after finding out about her pup's origin? All foxes have a certain smell, explained the staffer at the zoo. Thankfully, her pup didn't reach that age when the smell grows stronger. Ms. Wang is not the only dog owner that ended up buying a fox. Many animal stores trick customers into buying white foxes. But then, they end up wondering how to handle this wild animal they didn't even want to own. But the woman knew what to do with her pup. Ms. Wang now knew why her pup didn't bark or ate kibble. Foxes need to eat raw meat or else they get sick. Her dog refused kibble and only accepted chicken. Now she realized that he needed to live his life in a larger space and play with others of his kinds. But that meant giving him up and sending him to a sanctuary. The woman took a heartbreaking decision and later returned to the zoo, asking if they had white foxes in there and if they had a spare room for her beloved dog. Thankfully, they accepted him. He was domesticated and wouldn't have survived alone in the wild. Ms. Wang received some great news from the zoo. The fox was in for a treat as he saw others like him that finally accepted him. Her little fox was in good care now. He had a proper diet and veterinary care whenever he needed, and his mom knew that it was the best decision. Plus, his large enclosure allowed him all the freedom he needed. Then, the staff at the zoo told Ms. Wang she could always come and visit him. Ms. Wang was heartbroken when she had to say goodbye, but she knew her puppy was in good hands. She could come to see him whenever she wanted to, and it was all she needed to hear. As with all wild animals, it's always a bad idea to keep them away from their natural habitat just to have them as pets. While Ms. Wang had no idea that she owned a fox, others especially look to get exotic animals as pets, and it's so sad to see them leashed and not seeing others of their kind. It's always good to know what puppy to get and make sure that, if you don't adopt one from the shelter, you get the right breed for you. Ms. Wang was tricked one, but if she tries to get another puppy, she'd better get an expert or try another breed. Many people from Asia ended up buying a fox instead of a Japanese Spitz. The same happened to people in the US when they thought they'd get a German Shepherd mixed breed, and they ended up with a high-content wolf dog. They all went through some strange moments like Ms. Wang, and had to search for a proper sanctuary for their beloved domesticated yet wild puppies.
Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more.